big thank you to you all turning up this morning, and on behalf of John Crook, our chair, who's sitting over there in the corner, I'm very glad to see you all here this morning. Today, of course, is a very special day for us because it's the launch of our forum. First of all, may I say, if you want to become a member of the group, Tessa Peters, our membership secretary, is over here, and she'll quite happily take £10 off you if you want to become a member. That's per annum. And if you're a member of a group that wants to affiliate to the forum, she'll happily take a cheque for £20 off you. First of all, there are some thank yous that I have to do. A very special thank you, of course, to Courtney Ritchies from Stevenage Borough Council, who is our backbone in all this, and of course to Mandy Williams over there with the camera, who also works for Stevenage Borough Council and has been very helpful again in supporting Courtney and ourselves in setting up this organisation. And we have Laurel Farrington over there in the corner. Laurel, of course, used to work for Stevenage Borough Council, now seconded to the County Council. And Laurel really started the ball rolling, so thank you very much for that, Laurel. So without any more to do, I'll now invite the Mayor of Stevenage, Councillor Michael Downing, to say a few words.
Well, welcome first of all to everybody, and thank you for that introduction, John. The purpose of setting this up is essentially to ensure that the voice of older citizens in the community is heard, valued and acted upon. We need to think of older citizens not as dependents, but as a resource in the community, of people who can get things done, who have the time and who have the experience and the knowledge. And it's the job of the forum, I think, it's not for me to tell you what to do, but you'll decide that yourselves, and today is part of that process. And we need to ensure that the voice of those who've lived through the development of Stevenage in the last 40 or 50 years is not lost and is there to make its part fully felt in what could be difficult but may also be quite in interesting times for Stevenage in the next few years.
And we're also going to get some of you coming up as well to do a little bit of line dancing. And the Mayor's joined in because he's got his cowboy hat on.
I would like people to take the older generation seriously, and, don't look at them as older people. Look at them as persons, Because you're older, well, it's the individual anyway. And I think if the older generation keeps busy, I won't tell you my age, but if the older generation keeps busy, they can keep healthy.
Doing this, I've made a hell of a lot of friends that I wouldn't otherwise have had. And it'd be nice to sort of have a chat over a cup of coffee and what have you, but also sort silly things out that everybody thinks about, but nobody actually does anything about. Like the mobility thing over at the town centre. When the disabled get off the buses, they've then got quite a walk to get to the mobility scooter place. Whereas when we're going to have the new bus terminal, the mobility thing should be there, and like seating in the town centre, because us old ones can't keep walking all the time.
How do you plan to action the other older people in the community to come and join your team?
Well, basically it's just word of mouth and some publicity, isn't it? That that's all you can do and get people involved. I mean, a lot of people just sit back and wait and watch, but hopefully we'll get a lot of people that are willing to do their bit and have their say, and whether it be negative or positive answers that we get, at least we'll be asking the questions, won't we?
Last year we ran a programme throughout the country called Building the Society for all ages, and it was the then government's programme to find out what we needed to do as society ages. How can we make that life, fuller and better, and what sort of things did older people want? So it's not just about pension, but it's about, how do you live your life to the full, transport, health, community, exercise. So we ran the program throughout the country, and we had actual events in certain places to actually talk to older people in their groups. One of the places that we came to and held a consultation event was Stevenage.
Because there's going to be 3 of us going around each of your tables to get you to talk about some issues, some priorities that this forum needs to address for this year. It'd be easier if you could all fill up a few tables, sit together, shift across.
Our roles are vast. One of the things that we do is work with local people who want to put together groups, forums such as the Stevenage Senior Forum. So we would work with them and support the setup of that forum or group. We would look at external funding to maintain the group and offer advice and guidance. And it gives them an opportunity to come out and be social and share their ideas and their points of view. It's really to focus or get people to focus on issues that affect older people. I think that the main things that they'll be discussing is sort of inequality for people over 50. It's about discrimination. It's about getting their voices heard, really.
Are there any members of the Women's Institute here? No. Oh, well done, girls. Well done. We've had fantastic support from the Women's Institute nationwide. I moved to the little village of Cracow in the Yorkshire Dales 26 years ago. Angela came and knocked on my door and said, would I like to join the WI? I said, oh, never really thought about it. She said, if you don't join, they'll think you're funny here. So I joined. And every year, as you ladies know, we do a traditional calendar, which features pictures of hills and sheep and post boxes.
Well, it started last year before I was mayor, because I used to be the council member with responsibility for older people in the community, and I started getting involved with council officers, Laurel Farrington and others, whose idea it was that we needed to set up a forum which would be a voice for older people, looking at older people not as people who needed things done for them, recipients of welfare and so on, although there are some obviously need that, but as active citizens who had a great deal to contribute. And we wanted to change the perception of older people. We're very lucky in Stevenage to have such a brilliant team of people. They're all different, but they work very well as a team and do a fantastic job for the community, which isn't always appreciated, I think.
I'm a councillor with Stevenage Borough Council and have been since 2004. I am only the second BME council member, elected member for the council. Black and minority ethnic member. There's only ever been one other black member of the Stevenage Borough Council as an elected member, and I'm the first black woman, which is something quite to be proud of, really. Now, I've been a councillor since 2004, and this year I was also elected by our group to be the portfolio holder for community health and older people. Now, today we are here to celebrate the launch of the Seniors Forum, the Stevenage Seniors Forum, Maturity Matters. This is very new, okay? So I will tell you how I think it might go, because it is up to the group how they deal with these things. As I was going around listening to some of the issues that were being raised, I could hear that some of these things were a matter of channeling inquiries through to the council to get answers to some of their questions, because there are some things like some people were saying they want to be able to travel around using their bus pass further afield than Stevenage, which you can do, but they actually don't know, where the bus timetables are, what times they can travel, how far their bus pass will take them, that kind of thing. We need to find a place to get the information for them. There are some things to do with services that are for older people that maybe are, not quite as they would like, or they've got some queries. There are some shortfalls, some gaps that might be things that are part of services that the council already does, and it just needs to be looked into or investigated by a councillor member. It might end up that they all come to my door because I am the person who is the member, responsible for older people. I would like to I would like to see all the issues that have been brought up, and then I'll be able to see what things can be dealt with by other council departments, what things that the community development department can help them with, and what things they need to raise as an issue to help themselves, what things they can do themselves. Also, if they really feel strongly about something, one of their issues might end up being taken to the full council meeting, so that it can be debated, because at the full council we debate issues of concern to people in the town, and I would be encouraging them, if they've got some serious issues that need to be publicised, a good place for that would be at a full council meeting where it can be debated with the members of the council and also the public.
Community development, we are out there, but we would obviously like people to know that we're out there more and to use the service that we provide.